Imagine this. It's your first day at your brand new job. You're excited as you feel as if you're about to live your dream. You arrived early, dressed in your powerful power suit, ready to conquer the world. Your boss greets you with a smile, and your colleagues seem friendly. This is it, the opportunity you've been waiting for. The moment that you've been waiting for to make your mark, to shine, and to climb the ladder of success doing something you love after years and years of hard work. But then, as days turn into weeks and weeks turn into months, that initial excitement turns into something else. What was once supposed to be a dream job turns into a living nightmare. Your boss has transformed from supportive mentor to nasty bully. They gaslight, harass, criticize, and intimidate you, even throwing physical files at you which narrowly miss your head by inches every single day. And your colleagues, you discover that they are too busy focusing on their own battles than helping you. You can't really blame them though. One of them is so overwhelmed by the bullying that they attempt to take their life in the office after hours. Your mental health deteriorates. You can't eat or sleep. You start to have panic attacks. You gain weight. You're trapped in a cycle of anxiety. You begin to feel like your job is holding you hostage. When you try to talk to your family and friends, they dismiss you as a complainer who needs to toughen up. And yet, so you tell yourself that bullying is just a rite of passage, something you need to endure in your first proper job after university. You convince yourself that you have no choice but to stay because you have bills to pay and a family to support. This was my life for 6 months until one day I finally hit rock bottom. I found myself on a psychiatrist's couch, diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. I was paralysed by anxiety and unable to work or function. I even seriously considered leaving my career as a lawyer for good. It was dark, terrifying, and lonely. I felt trapped, convinced that there was no way out. But then something clicked. I began to give my pain a name, the victim mentality. I felt that things always went wrong for me. I often thought, why does this often happen to me? I shied away from trying new things because I was convinced that I'd fail. And yes, I always blamed others. The first step for me was naming my pain, giving it a shape. The next moment of awareness was this. I realised that a victim mentality doesn't make you bad or wrong or less than, but it does keep you trapped in a loop of anxiety, confusion, fear, and frustration when there is a way out. My third moment of awareness was recognising my own confirmation bias, a concept that I'd like to introduce you to. Confirmation bias is the tendency to look for evidence to confirm what we already believe. For example, if someone believes that clowns are creepy, they'll find every single piece of proof to back it up, like recalling horror characters or focusing on a scared child instead of a clown making balloon animals. This bias is a powerful force that warps your reality. When you see yourself as a victim, every slight, micromanagement, and unfair decision will reinforce that belief. You might catch yourself thinking regularly, "See, I was right. My boss is awful. This workplace is toxic." We've all been there, right? This is confirmation bias in action. Your confirmation bias is your own worst enemy. It reinforces your victim mentality and makes you believe that change is impossible. It keeps you looking for solutions and keeps you clinging to that narrative of despair. I know this because I did it myself countless times, even while sitting on that psychiatrist's couch. But here's the realization that changed everything for me. I realized that I was the only one who could change my situation. If I was waiting for someone else to swoop in and save me, I was going to be waiting a long time. This was powerful. It was life-changing. Even if you feel like a victim, you are the only one who can conquer your fears and make sure that you unlock the door of this prison to a more empowered life. It's time for you to shift from that victim mentality to one where you can lead a really victorious life. No one can do it for you but you. I want to share with you today 5 pillars which I believe helped me break free from my victim mentality and reclaim my career and power. Number 1, identify your values and use them to set your goals. It can be easy to overlook what we really want out of our lives and our careers, like family, friends, and personal growth, especially when work takes over. So, take some time to write down your career values, your top 3, like career progression, work-life balance, and perhaps a positive work culture if it's important to you. And consider if your job aligns with them. Think about what you genuinely want for your career and outline the steps to get there. Maybe you aspire to lead a team. And think about, hey, I can do some leadership training to get there. This is not just a wish list, it's a roadmap. Commit to your goals and values as if your life depends on it and your future depends on it, because it really, really, really does. Number 2, challenge your thoughts. This is really important. Negativity isn't truth, it's a trap. Question every single thought which pops into your head. Ask yourself, is this really true? What evidence do I have to support this? Am I falling back into a victim mentality? Keep in mind that your thoughts shape your reality. Number 3, embrace change even when it's uncomfortable. It's true that growth happens right outside your comfort zone. It's okay to be scared, but don't let fear control you. Push beyond your limits, even if it's in small increments. Think about this. Think about a time where you hadn't ran in a while and you knew that it was going to hurt. You might find yourself out of breath and, let's be real, like you're about to have a heart attack. But by pushing through those uncomfortable moments, you will regain your confidence and find the joy in running again. Number 4, build your support system. Surround yourself with people who will give you honest feedback, not just what you want to hear. If you do not have these people in your circle, find a professional who can be objective. Number 5, prioritize your well-being. This is non-negotiable. Protect your time and energy and set boundaries to do that. For example, if your job requires you to work back late every single day, it's time to make some tough choices to avoid you feeling exhausted. Commit to actually leaving at a certain time in the day. If you don't, you'll run the risk of burning out, getting sick, and losing the joy out of life. Your well-being matters. Now, some of you are going to find yourselves discussing what I've said today in the car and saying, I can't afford to leave my job because I have bills to pay and a family to support. So let's get one thing straight before you even waste your breath. Showing up for work is a choice. You might not think it is, but it absolutely is. In fact, it's a series of real, powerful choices that you choose to make again and again and again. Every day, you choose to get on that bus and spend hours in that toxic environment which belittles you, all for a paycheck, for validation, for career progression, for a title, or for whatever excuses you tell yourself. Yes, the idea of change and walking away from what you felt was your dream job is scary and uncomfortable. So start with one small move. What small move can you make to stop playing the victim and embrace what you really want? Would it be making a phone call? Would it be creating an exit strategy so leaving your job isn't so terrifying? Would it be to finally make a decision to embrace the real you? For if nothing changes, nothing changes. So, are you ready to stop playing the victim? Are you ready to stop making excuses for yourself? Are you ready to make choices today towards being victorious? Are you ready to use the 5 pillars that I've shared today? Are you ready to fight for what you truly want? Because if you are, your first victory starts today.